Hi and welcome to everyone to Roo Hammer's NRL Round 2 review. We're going to take a quick look at the Round 2 results and give our thoughts and opinions on the games that happened over the weekend. Before we get started, I want to invite you all to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to show your support for the content that we do create. Subscribe to the channel puts you in the draw to win some exclusive Roo Hammer merchandise, such as the stuff that we're wearing today. So click that subscribe button now. Mate, let's jump in and have a look at these results.
Yeah, let's do it, mate. Again, some interesting results, which is customary for early in the season. The first game of round 2 played at Bluebet Stadium on Thursday evening, and it was the Panthers hosting the Rabbits. Panthers 16 tries to Crichton, Tungo, and To'o. Cleary 1 from 3, Crichton 1 from 1. And the Rabbitohs 10 points came from Johnson and Tass with tries, Mitchell 1 from 2. Had a cracking game to kick off round 2, two of the absolute heavyweights of the competition. And the Panthers looking to avoid 3 losses in a row. And they came out with the energy and intent, and they controlled that first half. Despite an even share of possession, though, the Panthers had the better of the field position with their possession during that opening 40 minutes. And the Rabbitohs, they found themselves constantly coming out of their own line. Very little opportunities for points in the first half. Penrith were fortuitous right on half-time. It looked like a certain knock-on from Luke Garner. And then they went up 10-0 at halftime. Would have been frustrated that they couldn't convert more of their good ball opportunity into points. Nathan Cleary, he limped from the field at halftime, which looked like an ankle injury. He returned for the second half, and he didn't look in any discomfort after having that strap, so seems to be okay. Defensively, the Panthers were very aggressive, and the Rabbitohs never really got in the contest until, let's say, the final 14 minutes. And Penrith, they starved Souths of any good ball, but they still managed to get themselves within 6 points. Jerome Luai, outstanding, back to his best for the Panthers. And late bloomer Sonny Luke, he made the most of his opportunities on the field. For Souths, Campbell Graham, outstanding on defence, and he worked really hard all night. I guess I'm more impressed with how Souths were able to stay in the contest, despite Penrith having all the better of the opportunities. And again, the big story coming out of this one was Latrell Mitchell being racially vilified by the fans at halftime. Demetrio, he was scathing of the Penrith fans in his post-match conference and stating that, it seems to happen every time they go to Bluebet Stadium.
Yeah, it's just one of those things we don't need in our game, isn't it, mate?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, interesting game of footy, that one. As you said, mate, yeah, I agree. Panthers, it almost reminds me, now that the round's been done, of Southall being able to stay in that contest with Penrith for so long and just get beaten. Kind of reminds me of how the Warriors went against the Roosters on Saturday. Mate, we'll have a look at the Friday night games. We had 2 games on Friday evening. Game 1, any other round would have been the game of the round, Eels versus Sharks at CommBank Stadium. The Sharks ran out winners. Sharks 30, Kennedy 3 tries, Nikora, Mulatalo tries, Trindle 5 from 5 goals over the Eels 26. Sevo 2, Moses 2, Campbell Gillard a try, Moses 3 from 5 goals. Mate, this one, classic game of momentum swings and lead changes that provided so much entertainment for those watching. Mitch Moses was playing his milestone 200th game. He helped the Eels to hit the ground running with 2 early tries in a dominant opening 10 minutes. Clint Gutherson subject to an early HIA. Once he went off, the Eels' defence seemed to falter a bit. And that's where the Sharks got themselves on the scoreboard with 2 quick tries, almost identical in nature, isolating that Eels' left edge defence, and in particular Wonga Blake. And they took a lead after 20 minutes. It's no coincidence that Parra was susceptible while Gutho was off the field. Moses got the lead back for the Eels late in that first half. He's scoring in his milestone game before Kennedy crossed for his second try of the match after some Matt Moylan brilliance for an 18-14 Sharks halftime lead. Parramatta with a high-intensity start to the second half. Micah Sevo getting his try-double. An intercept from your mate, Pre-Jack Mulatalo, changed the momentum. But he found himself on one of the TB 122s that they must park at the sideline of these games.
He's in the thick of the action, isn't he?
Yeah, easily run down by Mitch Moses. With the Eels on the ropes, Will Kennedy got his 3rd for the night, scoring under the sticks. And then Mulatalo, he scores for the Sharks, jumping over Simonson in the corner. Trindle nailing that sideline conversion for a 10-point lead, and a lead that really was against the run of play, I guess. Mitch Moses scored his 2nd try for the night after some great lead-up work from rookie Jermaine Hopgood. The Eels get to within 4 and set up a grandstand finish. Parramatta, they threw everything at the Sharks in those final few minutes. but the Sharks held on for a hard-fought win, and the Eels start the season 0-2. Got a good glimpse after the game of Dale Finucane going around shaking hands with the Eels. Mate, he's the modern-day Kevin Campion. Finishes the game covered in blood, as is the norm for old
And
Dale.
the voice
Yeah.
box.
Mate, for me, Braden Trindle, he's causing a bit of a headache for Craig Fitzgibbon because his performances in these opening 2 rounds warrant his selection in the squad when Nicho Hines returns. So, I don't know whether they're going to move him to 6 and put Moylan back to the bench, or whether Trindle goes back to the bench. But he's playing very good footy, and he's going to create a bit of a selection headache for Craig Fitzgibbon.
He's been outstanding, scoring and setting them up. It was an entertaining, really entertaining game to watch. This one, really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was. The game after that, the second game, was the Broncos and the Cowboys, the Queensland contest at Suncorp Stadium there. And it was the Broncos get their second win on the trot for the season. Broncos 28, Ezra Mam 2, Capewell, Staggs, Reece Walsh tries, Reynolds 4 from 6 goals. For the Cowboys, 16. Nanai got 2 tries, and Valentine Holmes 4 from 4 goals. As I said, all Queensland contest, never disappoints. It's always a great rivalry between these two sides. Some early poor discipline from the Broncos. They gave away 2 penalties inside the opening 3 minutes, and the Cowboys capitalised with an early try to Jeremiah Nanai. Despite the early try, the majority of the first half was played inside the Cowboys half, with the Broncos really pressuring the Cowboys line, but unable to turn that pressure into points. A combination of great defensive resilience from the Cowboys and some poor decision and execution from the Broncos denied them scoring, but a 65% weight of possession inside the Cowboys half eventually saw the Broncos score twice before halftime. Scotty Drinkwater, he was sin bin for a high tackle on Corey Oates. Oates suffering a suspected broken jaw. I think it's been confirmed he has a broken jaw. He's going to be out for a bit of time. The Broncos wasted little time taking advantage of the extra man. 2 tries in the 10 minutes after halftime, and the Broncos were well and truly in control at 20-10. Nanai got his try double to kick the Cowboys back into the contest, but Reece Walsh sealed the victory for the Broncos in an awesome club debut. It was absolutely brilliant at the back. His attack tore the Cowboys' defence to shreds, and no doubt the echoes of "why did we let him go" were ringing out across the Tasman.
Mate, the reason I was smiling through that is it was like the Brisbane Reece Walshes versus the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I think all the headlines, but mate, fantastic club debut, and we wouldn't expect anything less. We know what he's capable of. We've seen it at the Warriors, particularly in 2021. He took the league by storm, and all the best to him. He had a specific set of circumstances which brought him back to Brisbane. So we hope he plays well, but just not against us.
Absolutely.
Saturday 11th of March, the first game, the Super Saturday, that was the Roosters versus the Warriors at Allianz Stadium. The Roosters 20, Jackson Polo with a double, and Walker with a try. Walker's 4 from 6. Warriors, Egan and Fanua Blake tries, Johnson 2 from 2. We're going to talk more about this on Wednesday night, so make sure you tune in live for our breakdown of this. But it was another great, resilient defensive effort from the Warriors. But as I said, to hear what we really think, tune in on Wednesday.
Yep.
Second game of Super Saturday. What a game this was. The Dolphins versus the Raiders, KO Stadium, one of our favourite grounds.
Yes.
The Dolphins continue on their merry way. 20. Tabuai-Fidow, the little hammer, is on fire this year. And Tom Gilbert with tries. Asako 4 from 4. The Raiders, Whiten and Kotrich tries. Bogarty 3 from 4. And then a late try to the little hammer sealed the second straight victory for the NRL's newest franchise. They played at their spiritual home, KO Stadium, in atrocious conditions. I would know. I was just down the road at Ken's place, and it was terrible conditions. But the Dolphins forwards, they laid the platform for Wayne Bennett's men. The Raiders were the better team, and they led 12-0. But the Dolphins, they got a crucial try just before halftime. Yeah. 3 players sin bin during the game. Jeremy Marshall-King in the first half, then Hudson Young, and then Sean O'Sullivan in the back end of the second half. It was just drama.
Yep.
And then Hamaso Tabuai-Fidow, he scored the match winner and his second of the night in the 77th minute, giving the Dolphins the lead. That was actually for the first time in the match. Ricky Stewart, filthy with the result. Is that right? Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay, no, he was. I'm wondering what outside influences he's going to blame this week. And the Raiders simply outclassed by the NRL's newest franchise. The Dolphins are the first new franchise to win their opening 2 games of the season since the Storm back in '98. So,
yeah, I know. Massive win by the Dolphins. I didn't pick it. I should have after their win against the Roosters. I thought they'd be on a downer, and I just heard that Ricky was muttering under his breath, "Weak gutted dogs," as he walked out of KO Stadium.
He's probably still recovering after we gave it to him there last year when we won in Golden Point.
He'd hate going to that ground. He would hate it.
He would hate it, exactly. After Lodge, that was the game when Lodge pulled his
lay down.
As well.
That's right.
Yeah, lay down Lodge. Yep. Yeah, good times. Moving on to Game 3 of Super Saturday, another shock result. Who saw this? Storm versus Bulldogs at Amy Park. Storm 12, Sofa Solomoto and Hughes tries, meaning 2 from 2. The Bulldogs 26. Kiraz with the double. Preston, Adokar, Navarillo tries. Burton 3 from 5. The Bulldogs got rookie coach Cameron Serrano his first NRL win at one of the hardest venues to record an away victory. So that's a feather for his cap. The Storm looked disorganised and out of sorts, and the Bulldogs they just cashed in on that. Melbourne with uncharacteristic 50 missed tackles gave the Bulldogs plenty of opportunities to score points, and they didn't disappoint. The Bulldogs they led 16-0 at halftime and then 26-0 in the 50th minute before the Storm managed to score their first points. That they had their chances, particularly in that second half, but they forced passes, poor execution, cheap penalties, and that all but ended their chance of a late comeback. Viliami kick-out was sin-binned late in the game. The Bulldogs so well and truly in control by that point, and you got to say deserved winners. And you never get tired of seeing Craig Bellamy blowing up Deluxe after the game.
No, that's funny.
Poor Craig, he doesn't know how to take a loss.
Well, that's the thing. He's a poor loser because he doesn't know how to do it.
Because it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen often enough for him.
Mate, that was a great result for the Bulldogs. They came into this comp this year with a lot of hype with their off-season signings, and they were disappointing against Manly in round 1. They came out as you said, one of the hardest venues to get an away victory, Amy Park. They put, and it could have been a lot more. They had a couple of disallowed tries in that first half too. It could have been 26-0 at half time. Good on the Dogs. Congratulations to Cameron Serrano on his first NRL win. I'm sure he'll remember that. Sunday, mate. Sunday the 12th of March. 2 games. The first game, Tigers versus Knights at Leichhardt Oval. The Knights 14. The Predator Dom Young 2 tries. Fitzgibbon a try. Hastings 1 from 3 goals. Tigers 12. Kapoa, Utakamanu tries, and Dewey 2 from 2 goals. Mate, the worst possible start for the Knights. Kalen Ponga suffering yet another head knock in the opening minutes, and he was forced from the field with a HIA assessment, which as soon as he walked off the field, it came up, failed immediately. So apparently now there's levels of HIA, and if it's a grade 1 HIA, they're just automatically out of the game. Grade 2 HIA, they go through that 15-minute testing. So as soon as he walked off, he was failed. Mate, we were speaking about it over the weekend. Surely his career is in serious jeopardy now.
Has to be.
They're saying this is his 4th HIA in 10 months. And I expect that he's going to have to spend a little bit of time on the sideline. Surely he doesn't play Friday night. I think the turnaround's going to be too too short.
You can't do, yeah.
No. Once again, mate, it's like put the tape in and set it on play. Once again, it's some early mistakes from the Tigers in good field position that let them down early. In contrast, the Knights really only needed 1 scoring opportunity in the Tigers half to open their account through the Predator Dom Young. 14 minutes in, and Knights hooker Jaden Brayley, he was forced from the field for a HIA that he also failed. So that activated the 18th man for the Knights. Adam O'Brien, he must be a visionary because he carried both Phoenix Crossland and Tyson Gamble on the bench. And coincidentally, they got to cover those 2 HIA rule-outs in Brayley and Ponga. So lucky he had those 2 guys on the bench. They kind of slotted in quite well. to compound things for the Knights, Dom Young, he was sin-binned in the 30th minute. Alex Twal, he went close to scoring in his first NRL try in 104 games.
How cruel was that?
But he dropped the ball over the line in the 33rd minute. Asu Kapaya finally gets the Tigers first in the 37th minute. And for those that don't know Asu Kapaya's history, he's actually the guy that the Roosters released for Sonny Bill to come back and play in 2018, 2020. Yeah, that's right, 2020. So Kapaya, he was a winger at the Roosters. He's now playing back row at the Tigers, and he's having a good fist of it, old Asu. Yeah, he did. Hastings put on report for a high shot on Tommy Talau in the lead up to that try, and Talau taken off the field, and he failed his HIA during the halftime break. The Knights lost Tyson Frizzell in the 50th minute, and it was such a huge injury toll for the Knights in this game. But the Tigers' attack were just woeful and directionless. They didn't challenge the Knights' defence at all. Jacob Saifidi, he was sent off in the 65th minute for a sickening high shot on Jake Simpkin. Simpkin also taking no further part in the game. The Tigers, with the numerical advantage for the final 15 minutes of the game, unable to break the Knights' defence, just continually making fundamental errors. We said before, it took us back to the game they played against us at Campbelltown last year in round 3, where it was a similar thing. I think we'd had a player sent off. We were down.
We were down to 12 for the final 10, and they were just attacking our line constantly.
And couldn't score. They were awarded a controversial try in the final minute, a clear double movement in my
that was ridiculous. That was crazy.
How the bunker justified that is ridiculous. The Knights held on for a gutsy win. They played 25 minutes of that game with only 12 men, and they lost Ponga Brayley, Tyson Frizzell, and Jack Johns to injuries during that game. So they pretty much had zero bench. The Tigers' performance, as I said, reminiscent of that round 3 game against us. Tigers fans, I think it's going to be a long and frustrating season for you guys. Post-game, there was a bit of an incident that the cameras picked up. Jackson Hastings gave an interview to Fox Sports. In the background, Tommy Talau walked past. They did ask him about the hit on Tommy Talau. He said, look, it was just in the action of trying to save a try. After the interview, he turned around. Tommy Talau's kind of grabbed him. Hastings has gone over to look to apologise. Talau's grabbed him by the jersey and started pushing him, and then Dave Clemmer's come over, and he's having a spray at Hastings. It was, very, very interesting stuff. And then in Tim Sheens' post-match press conference, they asked him about it, and he said he didn't see it. And then they go back and they show the vision, and Tim Sheens is standing there watching it. He's on the field watching it. So, just a lot of garbage stuff happening at the end. I thought it was quite funny that Jackson Hastings, in his post-match presser, he said that he had no ill feelings towards the Tigers club and the fans, and that he loved being coached by Woogie Maguire and now Adam O'Brien. I think that was a direct backhand to Tim Sheens. Love the drama. Good stuff. But shit game of footy. And the final game of the round was the Dragons at home at Netstrata Stadium against the Titans. The Dragons ran out winners in this one, 32. Little, Hunt, Ravalawa, Sloan, Laurie tries, Lomax 6 from 8 goals. The Titans 18s, Cam Pereira, Verrills and Big Tino tries. Tanner Boyd 3 from 3 goals. As I said, Dragons recorded their first win of the season to keep a share of the competition lead after 2 rounds. Many tipping the Dragons for the spoon. They came out and put a performance to silence some of those critics. The Titans jumped out to an early lead with 2 tries and looked to be in full control before Ben Hunt, he really took the control of the game for the Dragons. The Dragons with 3 tries in the final 8 minutes of the first half, and then a 4th try in the opening 5 minutes of that second half, and that changed the whole momentum of the game. And then Titans just kept giving away penalties. Zach Lomax just kept slotting penalty goals to increase the lead by 2 each time. A late try to the tireless Titans captain, Big Tino, made the scoreline a bit more respectable for the Titans. But, all in all, a good performance from the Dragons, one that Hook Griffin will be very happy with. Of course, the Sea Eagles had the bye. Yeah,
after all the noise about the Dragons being wooden spooners, it's hard. If they play like that, it's hard to see them getting the spoon. But it's a long. But as in the immortal words of Tino to you in round 1, 2021, it's a long season, bruh.
That's right.
Yeah.
It is a long season.
All right, so if we take a look at the ladder, mate, it's Seabold Sea Eagles heavily entrenched at the top of the ladder, with the NRL newcomers, the Dolphins, in second spot. The Dragons moving to third, with the Broncos rounding out the top four. All four sides yet to face defeat this season. There's a traffic jam of 10 teams on 2 competition points. The Panthers, Rabbits, Warriors, and Titans rounding out the top 8 on points differential. And the Roosters, Sharks, Knights, Storm, Cowboys, and Bulldogs, they follow all on 2 competition points, with the Raiders in 15th, the Eels in 16th, and the Tigers 16th.
17th.
17th, sorry. And all yet to record a victory this season.
Tigers where they belong. The Tigers, there's only 2 spots the Tigers can take up on the ladder, 9th or 17th. That's it.
9th or last. Yep.
Yeah. Interesting ladder, mate. It is only early days in the season. Mate, I don't know how you went with your tips. I got 1 from 8 this week.
I think I ended up with about 4.
Yeah,
I was lucky.
Absolutely shocking.
Yep.
All right, well, that wraps up this this review of round 2. Don't forget, this coming Wednesday, we'll be doing a full review of the Warriors' loss to the Roosters in our live show, 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, 8:30 p.m. Daylight Savings Time, 10:30 in New Zealand. Don't forget, also, too, we're on the Wobble and Jaw channel tomorrow night with Sam Revel. 6:30 Queensland time, 7:30 New South Wales time, and that's to preview the Cowboys Warriors game at Queensland Country Bank Stadium on Saturday.
Todd Payton Cup.
The Todd Payton Cup, absolutely. Yeah, so if you're a fan of Sam Revel, tune in. You can see us on there tomorrow night. If you're a fan of our content, make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss any of it. Other ways you can show your support is to subscribe to our Patreon program. The links will be in the video description, or you can head to our Redbubble store and grab yourself some exclusive Roo Hammer merchandise with plenty of designs honouring past legends, our club current stars, as well as some great novelty prints reliving some of those memorable moments in Warriors history. The link to the store will also be in the description below. But that's it. We will see you all on Wednesday night. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.